Good morning. Welcome to those who are just joining us. It's January 15th. Super grateful to be together and to be um, just connecting. Um, I don't know. Gosh, I think I just thought of something. Okay. All right. We've got people with questions, so maybe we'll jump into that. Okay. Um, just wanted to, well, we can skip that. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring Paula on. It looks like she's got a question. So I'm going to invite you to be a panelist, Paula, and then if you'll just accept that, then unmute yourself, then we can start our chat. Hello,
Oh,
hello.
hello. Here I
How are you
am.
today?
Good, good.
Awesome.
So, I spent the last, I don't know, month or so really fine-tuning my intentions for the year, especially after listening to the peak performance calls with Hal Elrod and really wanting to make 2025 my best year ever. And in all of the things that I have researched and found and like really in all my preparation, I found that the focus that I want to have this year is in recruiting, fine tuning those marketing, the sales skills, the connecting skills. I like my word for the year is connection, right? So I really want to connect with people on a way that, or in a way that will be able to be a forever type connection kind of thing, or a long term connection, not forever. But anyway, you get what I'm saying, right?
Beautiful.
So my focus is the whole recruiting. Like I'm really want to focus on recruiting for my business. I really want to focus on also the consumers. Like right, well, I want to keep the retention high. I want to keep consumers coming in. But the recruiting aspect for the business is something that I have like really leaned into and really want to hyper focus on this year. So anything you've got, that'd be awesome. I am finding people in different areas. I'm finding people through LinkedIn. I'm finding people through my own team. I'm finding people through, um, you know, various ways. But if you've got any other pointers, I would love that.
Fantastic. So it's from what I'm hearing you say is you've got big plans, big goals for 2025,
Amen.
especially around recruiting and especially recruiting builders. And so it sounds like um, you know the drill. Um, it's not like you don't know how to do it, but just looking for
Right.
tips to make it all that it can be. Is that
Correct. And like if there's any place I'm missing to find them, like if there's any other detail that I might be missing or something else to think about, kind of thing.
okay? Fantastic. Well, first of all, I love your clarity around the year. I love your clarity around having a word already and just getting really dialed in on your focus and where your energy is going for the year. That is the first major step. You know, like Tiffany says, doing's not the hard part, deciding is. And so
Yes.
it sounds to me like you've decided. So
Yes.
that's fantastic. Um, so um, it sounds like you already know a lot of ways to connect with people and find people, through networking events. Um, I I feel like one of the most undervalued places to network is through our existing network.
Hmm.
Um, so continuing to invest in existing relationships and conveying our clarity to them, right? Like when you connect with an old friend and you've invited them to the business, they're a no. Maybe you do a re-invitation, they're still a hard no. Then just coming to them with your absolute clarity. 2025 is going to be a big year for me. I have really big goals. I'm going places. doTERRA is my vehicle, and I'm just wondering, who do you know that might be interested, might be well suited, might have a great need. There's a million different ways to come at it, but I think that's probably the biggest opportunity that many of us leave on the table is asking for referrals, asking who do you know, who else could be served, just helping people and being bold. You know,
Mm, oh.
that's where I see top producers like Matt Hall just crushing it. He is so bold. He's not um, he doesn't come across as salesy. He's just clear. And
Hmm.
because he's clear, he starts the conversation with, "Hey, I've got a," like if he's reaching out to a friend from 20 years ago, he'll start out by saying, "Hey, I've got a business question I want to ask you, but first I want to reconnect. Tell me about your kids. Tell me about your family. What's going on for you in your life?" And so there's no sneakiness. He doesn't pretend for 45 minutes. He leads out like, "Hey, I've got a business proposal I'm bringing. And first thing of all, I care about you." And so that's a reconnecting tip. But then no matter who he's talking to, he's fearless when it comes to, "Hey, um, who do you know that that might need some health improvement or might need some a better financial vehicle or just has a lot of influence." It doesn't have to be um, the, sometimes we paint the picture that everybody starts as a user, then they become a customer, and then they're a sharer, and then they're a builder. And that is a common path, but it's not the only path. Sometimes people
Yeah,
are,
I didn't come in that way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to hold space for people who come in all different kinds of ways. And so that's how you get to be exploratory in your line of questioning. Just let's have this conversation. Let's explore because I'm going places and I want to take people with me. And then there's another phrase that I learned from Matt just this last week. Um, oh, I wrote it down. It's the bottom line is um, my goal is to help, X number of people this year create um, a massive thriving business that supports them financially. And my second goal is to help them get, and so, the first part is I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to mentor you. I'm going to train you, give you everything, all the tools you need to set you up for success. But then he also adds the second part. He says, my second goal is to make you as completely independent of me and my support as soon as possible, which is so cool,
Wow.
right? It's like
Yeah.
he's he knows what it takes, he has what it takes to help people succeed, but he also is sending a clear message, "Hey, you're not going to be, sucking off the teat and leaning on me your whole life. I want the season to be as short as possible, and then you're off and running and owning your own life, running your own business, your own contacts, everything." So that's just a couple of languaging tips that I think are really crucial. Um, but sounds to me like you're off to the races. Like you get that finding builders and getting referrals are only going to come from deep connecting. So
That's super helpful. Thank you so much. I have another question though. I have
sure,
like when I reach out to the phone calls, I've got a lot of people not answering because not everybody on my team knows me, right? Like a lot of customers or whatever, because some of them came
yeah,
through, different ways. And so a lot of them either don't recognize my number or whatever. They're not answering the phone. And
yep,
so there other ways that you feel like are helpful to reach out to people?
sure. I've found that nowadays, I just assume every call coming from an unknown number is a sales call or a scam. It's just that's kind of the world we live in now. I think it's kind of
Mhm.
funny that I grew up doing prank calls, when I was in junior high, and and the karma of that is I'm getting calls from scammers and salespeople all day, every day. So what I think probably works best is shoot them a quick text first saying, "Hey, this is Paula. I'm just reaching out to see how I can serve you in your doTERRA journey. Um, I'll, I'm going to be giving you a call here in a second. Because then they'll know who it is, right?
Okay.
They can't, I mean, they might still decline the call, timing might not be perfect, but I think, just giving them a chance to know who you are before they pick up the phone, because nobody wants to get trapped on a call. Sometimes I feel like if I pick up the call, somehow that's going to flag me in the system as, oh, this is a sucker who picks up his calls. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's just
Yeah.
why I don't pick
Yeah.
up a lot of those unknown numbers.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I
Yeah, I'm
appreciate
super
you.
excited for 2025 for you, Paula.
Amen. Me too. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for hopping on with us. Okay, I think I saw um, somebody else who had a question. Shelly. And I'd love to make this a mastermind. So um, her question is, um, I need some good ideas on where to hold free classes indoors here in Henderson, but not my house. Okay, so go ahead and put in the chat, what are your ideas for Shelly? If her place is not an option for hosting, what are some ideas there? Um, and I'll just throw out a couple, but sometimes people there are like uh, educational rooms at your local library. Sometimes there are I mean the obvious answer for me is network. You know, just talk to as many people. Um, hey, I'm doing a free education course on how to improve your health, and I've got a lot of people. Who are interested, but we just need a place to host it. Does anybody have a house? Or does anybody have a space where I could do that? It's 5 to 10 people. It's not huge. Um, so uh, what I've actually seen people make posts like that, and they've actually found builders from making a post like that. Um, because people are like, oh yeah, hosting's easy. Like I can check that box all day long. But um, so that's a great idea. And then read the comments. I'll read the comments for those who are watching the recording. Um, yeah, Karen says library. Um, Jeff says church. A lot of churches have that. Karen's saying there's clubhouses. There are a lot of communities where there's a common area, like a meeting room. Um, and a lot of times those are free. So just feeling it out, networking, asking a lot of people. What I found, the people who go the furthest in life are those who ask the most. They ask, um, they request the most, they invite the most. And so a lot of times it's just being bold in asking. So great question. Yeah, Laura's talking about an HOA space. Love that. And then Marilla is saying restaurants a lot of times have a room that can be used for that. Um, yeah, and what restaurants don't want more business, right? I mean, how many network meetings are held in restaurants just because it's business for the restaurant. So it's a win-win. Hi, Joan.
Hi there. How are you?
Good, and
First,
you?
good. Thank you, first of all, for having these wonderful calls every week. So inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
Jumping out of my comfort zone, getting live online. So thanks for
Thank
that boost
you.
too. But
Well done.
so and my question today is I am going to do something different that I haven't done before, and then I'm going to go to a school and set up a table in the teacher's lounge. So just looking for some ideas on that. It's not going to be a class, just little stop-bys. I thought so far bringing obviously the kids kit, maybe setting up a diffuser with lavender, on guard, of course, maybe VMG samples. Any other great ideas from folks? Should I do certain handouts? And then how to get people engaged and hopefully signed up in that quick turnaround, or do I just get their numbers? What advice do you guys have for that?
Great question. Yeah, go ahead and put in the chat, guys. What are your ideas for kind of a pop-up booth at a school? Um, how can we right? Is that what you said? It's at a school?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Teachers lunch in school, yeah.
Ooh, I love it. Aaron says free aroma touch hand massages.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
Aaron said the same thing. Oh, no, that
you.
was Aaron and then Stephanie. Um, so, speak to energy. UTIs are common, so maybe speak to that. Azusa says, bring the bubble diffuser. Jeff says deep blue samples. Um, a flyer on how to use oils in the classroom. Denise, that's a great idea. Do you know where does that exist, or would that need to be created? I'd love to hear your ideas there. Um, Shelly says uh, basically a giveaway. And so have people put their names and info to get entered.
Okay.
Small samples. Aaron saying adaptive, uh,
Okay.
and Maria saying invite fill out form for samples. So I think what Maria is saying is one of the things that Amy Fulmer and her team have done really well is they have this form that I think they use at their booths, but they also use whenever they host a class, they have everybody fill out the form that says, you know, um, would you be interested in A, hosting a class, B, earning extra income? Like it's
Uh-huh.
basically filling people out for
Okay. I hadn't
for
thought of that. Okay.
being a sharer.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if this is the right time and space for that, but it could work. You might
Eh,
really find
Nothing to
some
lose, I
space.
suppose.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and then obviously their health info, like what are your top health concerns, and then contact info so you can follow up with them. So
Okay.
if that were your entry form for people to be entered into a giveaway, I think you'd capture some really useful
Perfect.
contacts that way.
Thank you. That's perfect. One more quick question on this topic because I
Sure.
don't have children, so I don't have a lot of school exposure. Do you know if there's any issues with diffusing oils in school? I guess it just depends on the school. Does anybody have any input on that?
Yeah,
If I
I've never heard of any issues.
Okay, like a
I
teacher
know that
can.
yeah, I know that there are hospitals.
Yeah.
I think it might have
Yeah.
been Vanderbilt where they diffuse in the emergency room.
Hmm.
So I can't imagine a school having issue where emergency rooms are are diffusing. So
Okay. That's a good
um,
to tell them. Okay.
Shelley is saying she's never had an issue on school grounds.
Okay.
So obviously you'll get a teacher here and there who doesn't like the smell or doesn't like the
Mhm.
idea, but as a general rule, oh, Bobby's saying the state of Missouri doesn't allow it. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, it varies state to
Just
state.
depends then. Okay. I'll have to vet that out
School to school.
beforehand, maybe with the school. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
But who doesn't love a tool that kills all the germs in the air and uplifts the mood, right? I mean, man, if I was a teacher, that diffuser would be my best friend, you know?
Yep. Mm.
So
Thank,
totally. Yeah, great questions, Joan. Thanks for hopping on with us.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Well said, Shelley. Um, yeah. Okay, lots of good comments. If you didn't read the comments, go ahead and read through those. Um, Michelle saying maybe people with asthma could have issues with diffusing. So yeah, just be aware, be sensitive. Um, oh, that's funny. Merle says biology teachers have a problem with anyone diffusing on guard when they're trying to grow cultures. LOL. That's so funny. Yep, we're definitely a disruptor when it comes to helping germs grow and spread. That's funny. Um, oh, that's funny. Brenda says they say wild orange makes the classroom really chatty. That's funny. Okay, what are the questions? How else can I serve you today? Um, all right. Jennifer from Georgia says, do you have a specific conversation with builders around finding their purpose in sharing slash building their teams and or sharing the oils? Um, Great question. And purpose is a big part of what drives me and Natalie. It's a big part of the way we engage our prospects. Um, so what we've found is when someone's a prospect, and again, is very much a feel thing, but when they are very, very brand new to this idea of building, it might be too early to help them do a whole conversation around purpose, right? Like, what's your why for doing doTERRA? And so we might not use language like that, but in that um, discovery conversation, we're definitely asking, what's important to you, what matters. And I was just actually having a conversation with a potential builder, and for her, it was time freedom, the ability to work from home, to manage her own schedule, to not have a boss. So without really doing like an in-depth why worksheet, which we have in the Empowered Success system, it was really just that's what guided the conversation. You know, the first question might be what's important to you, and then follow up with why is that important to you. So a lot of times people will give a shallow answer to the first question, like, what's important to you? Well, I hate the bills. I hate the pressure of the financial stress. Okay, so why is that important to you? And then as you dig deeper, what you'll find is everybody has a why. Everybody has a really deep purpose that drives them, and it drives most of their actions. But most of the time it's subconscious. So helping them discover that for themselves, and sometimes it feels annoying the way you keep asking the same questions, but it's actually really, really powerful because it helps them get even more present to to the truths that they've maybe been avoiding for a lot of their lives. So, for some people, yeah, I just don't like and what's funny is you'll ask them what they want and they'll say what they don't want. And so that's unfortunately how a lot of people live their lives. They're running from what they fear rather than running towards what they want. And so they start out by saying, I don't want the financial stress, um, and say, why is that important? Well, I just want to have options. I want to have time freedom. Um, so this is where I get to transition to uh, the car. So let me see if I can figure out how to do this. I think okay. I'm gonna try switching. Okay, did that work? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Okay, so I think I think we covered everything on that question. Um, yeah, I feel like we covered that. There was another question that came from Mara. She said, if you could start all over again, what would you do differently? And this question, um, because we have learned, I like to say that Natalie and I's our claim to fame is we've made the most mistakes. And I truly believe that that's true. Um, so you're getting a full tour of the house here and the garage. Hopefully the garage is too messy. Um, so um, that's been our journey, is learning by failing, and like a mentor. So, and um, and I don't know any other way um, to get the deep learning and um, to get the lesson, that life is offering without the cost of experience, right? There's a price that we pay um, for learning what life is giving us in the form of a lesson, and that's where um, I could tell you, don't make this or that mistake, but um, that would cost you the value of the lesson, right? And so I know that there is a lot to be gained from learning from other people's experiences, but for my own journey, I wouldn't change a thing. In our early days, we tried flying to Japan and doing a booth at a health expo that was, cost us probably $10,000 with flights and paying for the expo. And guess how many enrollments we got out of it? Zero. We tried running an ad in a national magazine. I think we paid $2,500 to run the ad. And guess how many enrollments we got? Two. We sold two family physician kits. Um, but do I regret either of those? No, I don't, because we learned so much in the process. We realized, um, we discovered so many things along the way. In fact, Natalie had kind of a vision as she was flying to Japan. And, how do you put a price tag on what felt like a divine download, like this direct message from God about who doTERRA would reach through her efforts. And so, yeah, I mean, there's some probably obvious guidelines, right? Like, um, I wouldn't recommend that you go out and blow 10 grand on an expo in a country where you don't speak the language. I don't recommend the average person go out and spend $2,500 on an ad, but um, I would say don't judge your journey. Love it for all that it's given you, and be willing to fail faster. Be willing to um, take all the learning that life is offering you and say, hey, wow, that. Now I know one more thing that doesn't work, right? Like that's the gift that comes from experience. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think if I could change one thing, it would be I would have embraced the model of network marketing sooner. That's the thing that I see people who stall and avoid that simple thing. Like, we are a network marketing company. The model that we use is network marketing. So the sooner you embrace that, the sooner you'll fly. Um, Natalie and I had a lot of baggage around the model. And so we tried to do it our own way. We only signed up customers. We didn't talk to people about the business. And that was, to our detriment. We probably could have gone fast. I can't say that. I just know that it cost us, it had a tag. And I have a lot of builders who have dropped out because they never fully embraced the network marketing model. They tried to do, one of them tried to do a retail model. Some tried to just build online and never talk to anyone they know and just recruit online. And that might work for some, but it didn't work for them. So that's the one thing I would change, Mara. Okay. Fail faster. Yep. All right. So raise your hand if you'd like to come on and ask another question. Um, Seeing a lot of yes. Oh, that was when you were telling me I had still had a connection. Okay. Carmen says, I have a friend who lost her husband 1 year ago. How to approach her to start her business? First of all, I'm, sending condolences and love to your friend. Um, I just attended a funeral yesterday of a woman who's 46 who passed away, and I worked with her husband really closely in our church community, and um, I can't even imagine. So I think the first thing is just go and prove your love. I'm sure that you're doing that, as a friend. Um, show that your is stronger than the cords of death, and so that's my first bit of advice. Like, because if she feels like you're trying to, gain financially from her loss, that's the last thing you want. So just go in curious. Just go in like, tell me how things are. How are you emotionally? How are how are all the close loved ones? I don't know if there's children. Um, and then as you learn, um, you'll there will be clues as to where the needs are, right? Like, is there financial need? Does she need a project? Does she need purpose in her life? Um, so just be tender, be aware, be sensitive. Um, but go in with the mindset of how can I serve you? How can doTERRA be of service to you? Um, so that the friendship grows from the interaction and doesn't suffer. Great question. Um, okay, Ashley says, do you believe when parts of your team drop off in orders or growth, it's a reflection of your own mindset? Can it be revived? Um, yeah, um, I think sometimes it's a reflection, um, but there are a lot of factors. Um, I mean, there was our our team in Brazil lost 70% of its volume because there was a hater online who started spreading really nasty uh, lies about doTERRA. So was that a result of my mindset? I mean, I guess you could say that maybe I wasn't. It's a far stretch to say that everything is directly related to our mindset, especially as your team gets really large. So I would just say a more useful question to ask yourself is, what can I do today to inspire a healthier um, team, both um, from a physical health perspective, but also from a mindset perspective. What can I do to invest in every level of their success? To me, that's a more useful question. Not is it my fault, but what can I do to move the needle today? And so that's where the questions that you'll find in the business building guide. There are, if you go into the, I think it's Find Builders section, there's a box that has, do you know how many questions, Nat? Oh, sorry, it's in Schedule Your Success. So luckily, you've got um, the walking spreadsheet of the business building guide here in the car with you, and that's Natalie. So go to Schedule Your Success, and you'll see those questions, and they're actually inspired by Seth Risme, who's asked these from day one, right? He's a presidential diamond. He's founder 2.0. He's an amazing present. I think he's the best presenter in doTERRA, and this is how he built his team by asking these questions every day. And they're simple things like, who on my team needs needs to be invited to learn more? Who on my team, which builders need mentoring? Um, and so just anyways, I'm not gonna do I'm not going to remember them word for word, but go look those up on that worksheet, Schedule Your Success in the Business Building Guide. Okay, Laura says, last week you mentioned a program you guys have that we can sign up for. I'm not sure, Laura, if you're talking about the Essential Emotions coaching. Let's see. I don't think I talked about that last week. But we also have the Up Level 21 challenge. That could be what you're talking about, Laura. Maybe give a little, if you have any more clues. For the Essential Emotions coaching, I'll just give you that. Go to essentialemotions.com/coach, and you can learn more about that. If you're interested in the Up Level 21 health challenge, just go to uplevel21.com. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, I think the business building guide, um, if I was out in the real world, if I was just an old-fashioned marketer, um, I think I was presenting the business building guide, and I was saying, and you can buy it today only for $995.99. And that was the joke, right? And there's the uh, online course with incredible videos, impeccable content, and doTERRA could charge $3,000 for that. Instead, it's free. This is classic doTERRA, giving away so much value to each of us. So go to the training.doterra.com, and that's where you can sign up for the online course. And obviously the guide itself is a free download. So today only, it's free 99. Or you can buy the physical copy. Is it $10 each? Yeah, so $10 for the printed paper version of the business building guide. So yeah, that's the program that I joked about last week, being worth $3,000. And that's not a joke. It's worth that. Okay, Denise says, does anyone else struggle with engaging? I'm sure based on my why, which seems elusive, but I think I'm experiencing PTSD. LOL. Okay, so Denise, first of all, I want you to know that it's perfectly normal. If you've gone through an intense period of building, or maybe you've had a builder drop out, I think it's perfectly normal to feel the symptoms of PTSD. I remember after doing periods like Diamond Club in our build, we moved to Australia for 3 months, and it was hard. And we were on the road and everything, dragging 5 kids around this huge country. It was hard. And it felt like PTSD when we got home. So first of all, just give yourself grace. That, I've been through a hard period, and I, um, I give myself permission to be in the process of healing, of renewing, and so then giving yourself the nurturing that you need to heal, right? Um, to have that self healing, the self care space that you need. I think often we do a hard thing and we just rush on to the next thing, and we give ourselves the space or the to flow and to heal. So this is one of the phrases actually in Australia that came to me. We're out there trying to heal the world. We've got this mantra of a healer in every home, but in the process, we were killing ourselves, right? Like we're literally getting sick. Our kids were getting sick. We were not well physically. And so the mantra that came to me was, in the journey to heal the world, remember to be healed. in the journey to heal others, remember to be healed. Give yourself space to be healed. And that became really important to us and continues to be really, really important. In fact, we have scheduled into our weekly schedule spaces for emotional release, for self-care, um, because we found that if we didn't do that, it just didn't happen. We could preach about it all day long, but until we actually, set up standing appointments. And so every Tuesday we get on the call with our life coach, and she helps us release things and work through things. Um, every um, every Sunday we have a religious ritual of release where we surrender, everything that feels broken in our lives to a higher power. And then every Thursday we gather with Joe and we do the essential emotions move with Joe, and that's a huge emotional release. And we don't miss that. Um, Even when she can't make it, we play a video. And so you can access that through the Essential Emotions Plus app. And or if you're here in Utah, you can come join us. We host that every Thursday morning at 9 o'clock at our house. Um, and then we make sure we get body work done. So we have a weekly massage, and that's been a powerful way of releasing. And in fact, we have a massage therapist who's also a life coach. And so a lot of times it's not just physical, but we're processing things and talking things out during the massage. So I would say, if you're feeling the symptoms of PTSD, um, then give yourself the gift of healing. Give yourself the gift of self-care. And that can take a lot of different forms. A lot of times, the first step of self-care is giving yourself enough water, drinking plenty of fluids, believe it or not, is really the first step. Giving yourself quality sleep is self-care. It doesn't have to be expensive, right? You don't have to hire a massage therapist. Just giving yourself um, nutritious food. VMG is I think a baseline of self-care that we can all give ourselves. So, um, in the to heal the world, um, be sure you're not sacrificing. Right? Some of us are so driven and so given to this cause that we can lose track of ourselves and our own well-being. And so that's my invitation to you and to each of us is to be a healer and to be healed. All right, who else has a question? Jeff says personal foot and hand massages are something we can do and is totally free as well. Love that. Yeah, I love how doTERRA gives us, some from corporate, but some from the field. They give us so many tools for being healed. If I think about, in fact, I was actually at Oil Life one day, and that's where we're driving is by the old Oil Life building, and I saw some roller bottles that had a long extension on it, and I was like, "What in the world is this?" And you know how people have those back scratch tools where you can give yourself a back scratch? Well, this was a tool where you could give yourself a symphony of the cells or an aroma touch, and so you would just hook in the different 10 ml bottles into this extender thing, and you could give yourself a symphony, you could give yourself an aroma touch, and how cool is that? Like how what a huge gift to give ourselves um, that kind of self-care. So um, lots of creative ideas for self-care, and Tiffany, she's the queen of that and has given us lots of ideas in the past too. So Um, one of her suggestions is um, to pull out a sheet of paper and talk about, what's your dream list of self-care, and then to make a second list of what are 100 ways I can give myself self-care that costs $0. So just a couple of great ideas. Okay, I'm seeing lots of comments of incorporating the strengths and self-care into your schedule. Okay. Somebody asked, where do we buy that extension tool? I saw it at Oil Life. I'm sure they have it on their website, or maybe Aroma Tools. I don't know the exact brand or name or anything like that, but it's a great little tool. Okay. Laura is asking, do we have a chat outside of Zoom to chat about doTERRA thing, like on WhatsApp? So there are lots of Facebook groups that exist to carry on the doTERRA conversation outside of Zoom, this weekly call. And so obviously that's a great resource. There's oh man, I would just search, go onto Facebook and search doTERRA, and then you can refine your search and just search for groups, right? So there's obviously pages, there's users with doTERRA in their name, but you're looking for groups. So that's what I would say. All right, we are here at the Founders Retreat. And so you can see this cool backdrop doTERRA set up for us. And we've also got the registration desk and lots of founders. Very cool. Oh, these are mostly corporate employees. So let's come and see. I don't know where they're meeting actually. So look at this cool backdrop. You'll probably be seeing lots of selfies with that cool Utah backdrop on there. I think they might be in the auditorium. Oh yeah, because they started at 9. Okay, so that's why nobody's out here, is because it's already started. Okay, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut while I go inside so that we're not interrupting, but I'll just give you a quick sneak peek.
How we can show up faster. We shifted some things around yesterday. This is supposed to be the end of the day tomorrow. And some things around. So as I present today, you're not gonna get some rah-rah speech. You're not gonna get.
So that was Dr. Riggs that I was having waved to you, and then you saw Emily Wright is on the stage. So this is Founders Retreat. I'm super excited to share everything that we learn and gain, and all the networking here, all the masterminding. But this is the Founders Retreat for those who missed. So this is for Founders 1.0 and Founders 2.0 in the US market. So it's going to be awesome. And Ashley says, when will the third Founders 3.0 be announced? So first they need to get to 2 billion in the US market, the North America market, before they announce the 3.0. So we got work to do. So we're super excited. And yes, anyways, I'm going to jump into this event, but thank you so much for being here, sending so much love, and we'll see you all next week.